Tigers, and you're watching Sports Express on News Line 9.
Covering local high school sports like no one else. Newsline 9's Sports Express. Presented by Marshfield Clinic.
We've reached a crucial stretch of the regular season. Welcome to Week 6 of Sports Express. I'm Lauren Magiera. With a month left, the races for conference championships and playoff spots are heating up. We'll take you to Stanley Boyd and Marathon and Amherst in just a moment. But first, we'll start with our game of the week, a rivalry matchup between Edgar and Stratford. David DeGuzman has the details of this big contest in Marywood. He's standing by in the newsroom on Friday nights, what we rename as our Sports Express Command Center. David?
Yes, Lauren, the Command Center up and running once again on this Friday night, and the buzz in here is about our game of the week between Edgar and Stratford. I gotta tell you, I think this one counts as game of the year. These two towns are less than 15 miles away from each other. The Wildcats visiting the Tigers and putting their undefeated season on the line. A packed stadium in Stratford for this rivalry game. Fans have been looking forward to this contest for a while. Just before the half, Stratford already up 14-6. Jake Reef gets the interception for the Tigers. The junior almost takes it down to the end zone. Folks, it was that kind of game with the turnovers. Let's go to the third quarter. Stratford driving. Eli Tiemanson throws it up, and this time they give it up. Edgar's Caleb Wolf with the INT. Wildcats with the ball. Possession moves to the fourth. This is on fourth down. The throw from Connor Handrick deep to the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. And a 33-yard reception from Mitch Bohm. Then the two-point conversion to tie the game. Handrick finds Camden Heidman in the end zone. Game is tied at 14. There wouldn't be any further scoring in regulation. Let's take a look at the final score. Let that sink in for a second. The game went to overtime. Edgar fumbled on its first possession of the overtime. Stratford kicking a 20-yard field goal to hand the Wildcats its first loss of the season. Boy, was that a game that lived up to the hype. The other unbeaten team in the Marywood is Marathon. The Red Raiders hosting 1-4 Tomahawk. First quarter, quarterback Nathan Martin passes to Ethan Schubert. Schubert runs the ball down to the end zone. Marathon has their first score, 6-0. They go for the two-point conversion, and they would get it, leading 8-0 now. Then in the second quarter, Marathon again. Martin passes to Devin Gertchen for the touchdown. Red Raiders lead 14-zip. Marathon runs away with it, 53-8. Turning our attention now to the loud VFA South. Marshfield looking for its 5th straight win since its Week 1 loss to Wausau West. First quarter, Rapids already trailing. Jeremy Stats running it in for the first down. Here's a tidbit about Jeremy. He's a multi-state champion in BMX racing. Bet you didn't know that. All right, for fourth down again, a deep pass intended for Thomas Olson. The junior can't get it, but pass interference allows the Tigers to try again. This time, Jared Halber taken down, though, by Craig Zalzniak. It's Marshfield possession, and look out, it's Caleb Alexander. 71 yards on this one, his second of 3 touchdowns on the evening. Marshfield with the win, 35-7. The Command Center continuing to put together the highlights and gather scores from the evening. We'll keep working here. Lauren has more action from the Valley Football Association. Let's send it back over to you, Lauren.
Thanks, David. Well, Spash has seen its season glide down a losing record after starting the year with 2 wins. Tonight, the Panthers host Neenah, trying to get their season back on track. Let's head to Gorky Park, the site of this VFA South matchup. And let's take it to the second half. Spash leads 7-0, and with the ball, trying to make something happen here, but it's picked off by Neenah. Spash saying not a good start to the half. Well, that sets up this fourth down. Neenah with the ball. Looks like they're going to kick a field goal, but it's a fake. Kicker Rob Schmidt throws to the end zone, but Spash redeeming itself. It's picked off by senior Elliott Blake. A little later in the fourth quarter, the Panthers make their way down the field. A quick handoff to Joey Florette, and he's in. Spashers will win 14-7. Well, the future star quarterback and head cheerleader of DC Everest supporting the Evergreens hosting Wausau East. First frame, Lumberjacks ensuing. Bryce Widmark fakes the handoff, and Mitchell Bowles dives for the interception. Now, this kid seems to have a major highlight just about every Friday, and he may just be our athlete of the week on Wednesday. Well, after an Evergreens turnover, Widmark with the 21-yard pass to Tim Nass right into the end zone. Lumberjacks tally 7. DC Everest matches that as Nick Sirkowski hands off to Wyatt Brown, who runs it in to tie the game at 7. Add 29 unanswered points. DC Everest wins 36-7. Wausau West hosting Kaukauna. Warriors trying to bounce back from a shutout loss in Appleton North last week. Third quarter, Warriors leading 21-0 after a few penalties at 2nd and 35. David DeGuzman says not a problem. The QB connects with Callan Benz for the 28-0 lead. Defense playing aggressive as well. Kaukauna trying to make something happen here. Tanner Vandehey with a long pass, and Chris Clemente is right there to pick it off. Warriors with the shutout, 35-0. We'll still ahead on Sports Express. We'll check back in with our command center for our stars of the night, and we'll also head out west for a battle of unbeaten teams to decide the fate of the Cloverwood. You're watching Sports Express on Newsline 9. Welcome back to Week 6 of Sports Express. Now, just a reminder that you can hear from the coaches themselves. Check out our Coaches Corner in the sports section of our website, WAOW.com, for all the latest updates and pictures on your local team. Written by the team themselves. It's all on the Coaches Corner. Well, Sports Express week number 6 continues now. We're just minutes away from revealing our stars of the night. First, we take a look at the Clover Belt tonight. 2 unbeaten teams took the field in a game that will likely decide the conference championship. Third-ranked Colby traveling to face Stanley Boyd. Well, this game was a rematch of last year's Level 1 playoff game that the Hornets won by just 2 points. First Colby drive. Cody Meyer rolls out to his right, fires a bullet to Jake Hornke, but the Hornets drive would stall after that. Stanley Boyd inside the 10-yard line, and the Orioles capitalize. Clint Womernsky trots it in for the first score of the game. Stanley Boyd up 6-0. Next Colby drive. Sage Sopa takes the give up the middle. He nearly breaks this one for a big gain, but he's brought down by the shoe-strong tackle. Colby loses the battle of unbeatens 37-7. Amherst back home after its 17-game winning streak was snapped in Week 5. Tonight, hosting Manawa, we take you to the first quarter. Fourth down Manawa. They kick it off, but the ball bounces off Amherst's Wyatt Brooks. Garrett Griffin is there to pick it up, and that play sets up this. Manawa with the ball near the 5. Griffin back at it again. He squirms his way through the defense and into the end zone. Manawa up 6-0. But Amherst is saying not so fast. Later in the first, a long throw to Garth Groshek. It's good, and he's off into the end zone. Amherst on the board 7-6. Now a fumble on the kickoff gives Amherst the ball right away. It's handed off to Connor Zableski. He finds a hole and another quick 6 points. Amherst goes on to win 27-6. Mosinee playing its final non-conference game of the year, hosting Unalaska from the Mississippi Valley Conference. Coming back from halftime, Mosinee up 13-0. Quarterback Zach Pyan passes to Jeremy Weinberg for the TD. The field goal would also be good. Mosinee up 20-0. Let's check out the fourth quarter. Mosinee goes to the field goal, add another 3, leading 23-0. Mosinee with the shutout, 36-0. And now for an update on the rest of the Great Northern Conference, we send it back to our Sports Express Command Center, where David DeGuzman is standing by with more scores and highlights. David?
Yeah, Lauren, we're still buzzing about that Edgar Stratford game. It's hard to focus on the others. Mosinee, though, you just saw taking care of business. But if it wants a shot at that conference title, the Indians will need help from Medford in the form of a loss. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen tonight. Medford shutting down Rhinelander 55-0. Hodag still winless this season. Meanwhile, third place Merrill defeating Ashland tonight 49-6. Now, for a glance at the Cloverwood, Owen Withy controlling its destiny for a conference title, still undefeated heading into tonight against Abbotsford. Blackhawks leading 28-14. Kicking off to start the second half. Abbotsford receives the kick. Oh, but it's bad news for Abby. The ball's on the ground and they're on the ground. I can see it there. Owen Withy recovering the ball. Blackhawks inside the 10 on the next play. Austin Mallorin, takes the give and races into the promised land. That puts OW up 35-14. Blackhawks go on to win big, 69-20. Athens averaging 42 points per game since week 2. Let's see if that number goes up after playing winless Thorpe. Second quarter, Blue Jays leading 21-8. The toss is to Lane Tesmer. The junior gets around the edge and pick up the first down inside the 10. A few plays later, Athens punches in the touchdown thanks to the 1-yard run from Tesmer. Athens goes up 28-8, and the Blue Jays taking care of business. going on to win 49-8. Rochelt, two top teams in the CW10 meeting up in Port Edwards. That's the Hornets and Blackhawks. Sixth and final game for Port Edwards. Home game for Port Edwards, rather. Rochelt jumping out to a 14-0 lead. Make that 21-0. Nick Lemke going all the way. A 52-yard TD for the senior. Port Edwards trying to get on the board. There they are on 3rd and 4. The pass to Ethan Saylor is caught in the end zone. Blackhawks avoiding the shutout. They add 2 more right there, but it's Rochelt with the win, 52-14. Finally, on this week 6 of Sports Express, we reveal our stars of the night. As always, our team here in the command center looks at all the stats to decide who shined the brightest this evening. Let's take a look at our first one. Connor Zableski from Amherst. Great way to bounce back from a loss last week. 135 yards, 3 TDs as Amherst winning 55-6 over Manawa. And our second star of the night, Caleb Alexander, 3 touchdowns. We know that he at least had 125 yards on the ground, 38 receiving. And those 3 touchdowns as Marshfield defeating Wisconsin Rapids 35-7. And that wraps up our coverage from the command center. Remember, all of our highlights and scores from this evening will be online on the sports section of our website, WAOW.com. Our team working on that right now. Lauren?
Thanks, David. When we come back, we have one last check of your forecast and then your plays of the night. You won't